Hello and welcome to Infiltrator on the Commodore 64. And this came out in 1986, and it's been a while since I reviewed anything, but I wanted to review this game, but I haven't played it in years, so I thought it's probably worth playing it a little bit first, because it's not a simplistic game. It's not that complicated, but it's pretty hard. It sort of throws you in at the deep end. So, but once you get to grips with it, it can be quite good fun. So let's have a look here. Johnny, your first mission is to fly in secrecy to the enemy HQ command center. You must then photograph all vital documents and the enemy war plans. Good luck. Yeah, so the idea of the game is you take control of Johnny, or his nickname is Jimbo, and you fly in your helicopter to an enemy base, achieve your objective without getting caught, and then you've got to fly back. That's it. There's 3 missions in total, and each mission is sort of divided into 3 stages. There's a flying stage, then there's a sort of aerial arcade adventure stage, and then there's a inside each building to sort of more zoomed in view. So it starts off at this flight sim stage, which looks really nice, but it's really not much to it once you get used to it. So let's get started. So anybody who's played this must know BSI. That's the combination of keys to get the thing to start. And once it pulls enough revs, you can take off. And we're off, and your little hands move, which is quite a nice feature. And actually, it's quite immersive. Well, I thought it was quite immersive back in the day. So once you're in there, what you need to do is go to the terminal screen and go to the map. And at the top of the map, it gives you a frequency, and you've got to input that frequency into the automatic direction finder. So you can see a little flashing circle there. That's you. So let's 72.8. So what you do is now go into the COM screen, press A, 72.8, and then when we go back to the main screen, you can see the little picture, little arrows pointing to where we need to go. So line up and fire forward to accelerate. Now you should stay above 1,000 feet to avoid detection when you're near the enemy base. Right, now that's these enemy planes appear, then you've got to either say you're a friend or foe. So let's assume it's a friend, because we didn't have time to challenge, because you can challenge, once you see the planes, you should challenge them right away yourself. Then you can work out who they are from their call sign, but we'll just have to go. Since we've just left the base, I suppose it's reasonable to assume that it must be a friendly. Yep, so there we go. Good luck, Johnny. So now we can activate our turbo boost mode. And at the top right there's an oil gauge. When you use turbo boost or whisper mode, that gauge goes up pretty quickly. And obviously once it overheats you will take some damage. And like a lot of these games, there's a panel at the top showing, little panel showing what parts of the craft can be damaged. There's a status panel in here as well. Shows you your inventory and stuff like that. So it's all pretty nicely presented. Oops, I'm losing quite a lot of altitude here. Right, so I should really challenge this guy now. If you read the manual, it tells you, I mean, there's only 3 things you can type in. Request ID and Infiltrator or Overlord, that's the only thing you type in. Weasel, so you really need to make a list of these call signs and who they are. The manual gives you a couple, but I don't know who Weasel is, so I'll just assume he's a foe. So we'll go Overlord. I bet he's a friendly. If he, yeah, there we go. So we're. Oh, there we go. Right, so we're over the base now. So we engage whisper mode and go down as fast as we can. Obviously, once we get to ground level, we have to ease it off a little bit, otherwise we crash. Hopefully that was a yay, successful landing. First time. Yeah, so here we are at the main problem of this game. I had this, I think I bought it and re-released back in the day on cassette, and the multi-load is horrendous on cassette. And I would guess probably most UK games players back then would have probably had the cassette version. So it's probably, this is one of these games that has a bit of a divide. UK games players not so keen on it unless they played the disc version, or unless they had a lot of patience. And the sort of US players who mostly played it, well, would have played it on disc, are a lot more enthusiastic about it. Yeah, so I did play it quite a bit back in the day when I had the cassette version, but again, it's one of these games that you just do your homework or something in the background while it's loading in, and there's quite a lot of loading because there's some nice presentation screens, and the graphics are pretty good in general. But yeah, it's got to load in the flight sim stage, and it's got to load in this stage. Then when you complete a stage, you've got to go back to the flight sim stage. Then it's got to load in completing the mission. Then it's got to load in the next mission, and it went on forever. But these days, if you're playing it on an emulator, you know, there's no reason to play the cassette version. Just stick to the disc version, and it's much more enjoyable. So here we are. So push joystick to start. So we take control. We've landed just outside the base. Now you can press space, and there's a little screen here. We've got sleeping gas, which we can use to stun guards. Gas grenade does the same thing, but if you use it outside, it will alert the other guards. And the guards, they're only temporarily knocked out, but they are concussed, and they don't remember what happened to them, so you can normally get away with it. Yeah, if the other guards spot you outside, then they will activate the alarm, or if you get caught dicking around inside by a guard, they'll sound the alarm. So the guards will also ask you for papers. Mine detector you don't need in the first mission, there's no mines, but you need to use it on these stages. I think the second one has a minefield right round where you landed. Camera, you need to use that for this mission, and explosive, I don't think you use that for this mission. Right, so yeah, you can see there's a pretty tight time limit, it's only 10 minutes. You really need a map. You can't expect to complete any mission really without either making your own map or just, you know, back in the day you would have got a map off the magazines, things like that. I've got the map from the Christmas special 1986 edition of C64, if that helps anyone. There's also some playing tips in there. But I did actually have my own map in the day, which I dug out when I was up at my mother's house up at Easter, but unfortunately they have faded over time, but I did make them 20 years ago, and of course I drew them in pencil, so they have faded a little bit. So yeah, I've downloaded this map. My map was nicer actually though. So you see the graphics are pretty smart. I think they're pretty smart. A nice use of shading, and I think the isometric perspective works pretty well. The animation's alright. I mean, obviously there's just outlines, but it does the job. I like the way it sort of scurries. Alright, so you come over here. So you've got to show them your papers, and normally they'll say they're in order, apart from that one, in which case you should gas them, then leg it, come back in a bit. Yeah, normally they're mostly in order. Yeah, at least when you get to these stages, if you die, you don't have to reload the whole thing. You just restart this section. So yeah, my paper's in order. So what you're best doing is trying to avoid these guards as much as possible. Just try and stay away from them. If one wants to talk to you, they sort of turn that sort of orangey brown colour. I mean, it is fairly random. What I'm trying to do is get... I mean, there's 5 buildings in this mission, but I'll explain as I go along. I need to get to this building up here first. So the objective in this mission is to photograph... oops. So the alarm's gone off. I may as well restart. Yeah, the objective is to photograph. I think they're on stuck in the wall. It's basically 5 rooms. Yeah, let's just let them catch me. When you get caught, you get this hilarious text conversation. Well, it's maybe alright the first time, but it gets a bit boring. So yes, you've got to photograph 5 rooms, but to get to them you have to unlock the rooms first by finding a security passcard and entering it into the terminal for it. So the passcard is in that building that I was heading for, and then the rooms are in the other buildings. Let's say you've only got 10 minutes. It's not a lot of time. Let's try again. If the alarm goes off, you have to use a security key and find the terminal to deactivate it. The keys are kind of randomly, well, not randomly placed. They can be in a number of different locations. I used to have it written down. The map I've got here doesn't have it, but I used to have it written down where it might be. In fact, no, it does have it. Yeah, there's a number of locations the key might be. So you could argue whether it's worth trying to find the key first, but you're best just trying to avoid getting caught. Easier said than done sometimes. Right, so the alarm's not going off this time. So now it moves, when you go in a building, it moves into this sort of close-up view, which I think the graphics are pretty good. The only thing that lets it down is the actual sort of main player himself and all the enemies. They just look a bit chunky, look a bit odd. I don't know why. Right, so where am I going? 5. Right. And what you can do is you can search piece of furniture. It's a bit like Impossible Mission, but most of them don't have anything. But some occasionally have grenades and things, and of course some of them have the security key or the passcard. So nothing of interest. And now this one has a uniform. You can change into the uniform. It's a bit of a balancing act. If you change into the uniform, you can sort of go about your business without anybody asking for your papers, but if you get too close they will ask for your papers, and they're probably not going to be in order because you're not who you say you are. So I tend not to use a uniform. You can sometimes get round the guards by, if they're walking away from you and they haven't seen you, you can sometimes sort of sneak by them. It is worth using a grenade in this room, so you can pick up more grenades, because you've only got a limited supply. You also can't be seen to be searching. If you search a piece of furniture with the guards are there, they get suspicious as well. So I'll just use a grenade. Okay, so we've found an electronic key. I don't think that's the parcel, is it? Ah, shit, he's sounding the alarm. Yeah, this is the passes in here. So now I could try and find a terminal to shut off the alarm. I don't know. Oops. Ah, shit. So I got caught. So you get the idea. It's a bit of a sneak around game. Bit of a basic flight sim. It's yeah. I say it does kind of throw you into the deep end. Initially it does seem quite challenging, and I still think it's quite challenging. But some people seem to think it's quite easy. Yeah, I did quite like it back in the day. Playing it again, actually, it's still, I think the game design is actually pretty solid. And in general, I think it's a pretty good sort of spin on the sort of arcade adventure games, because there was tons of arcade adventure games around about '86 and all these flat screen arcade adventure games, and this one was something a bit different. So it did have some slight sort of stealth aspects to it. It had a bit of sense of humour, especially if you bought the game, you had the manual. There's all sorts of silly things that you can find hidden around the buildings. So yeah, from that point of view, I think the game's alright. I think graphically it's pretty good. I think it has some definitely nice shading. So just the main sprites seem a bit iffy at times. Yeah, but the only thing it lets down is, well, on the cassette version is the multi-load, like I said. On the disc version, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't mind the multi-load at all in this version I'm playing here. I didn't ask my papers. I did. Sound is a bit basic. It's pretty sparse, really. Yeah, I mean the gameplay is the important thing. I think it's pretty good. So I'll give it. Oh shit! I'll give it 8 out of 10. I think it's a pretty good game. See, it's not for everybody, but I quite enjoy playing it. And obviously, if you're playing a cassette version, you might want to knock off a point or two. But I say there's no, like I said, there's no reason for anybody to play the cassette version these days, unless they're doing it in real hardware, in which case, good luck with that. The game did have a sequel that came out 2 years later. It was called Infiltrator 2 the next day, and to be honest, it looked like it was made the next day because it looked absolutely identical to this game. All I did was change the missions, make them a little bit harder. Things were a bit more random. So I suppose if you like this game and you wanted a bit more, then it would have done the job for you. It's yeah, I never really got into it myself. It certainly didn't look like, you know, something that took 2 years to make, so it looked like a bit of a cash grab to me. So this is the room with the... so that now opens all the doors. I think it's turned the alarm off as well. Unfortunately, I just can't remember where I'm going now. Building 4. Okay, there's no... I absolutely can't remember where I'm going. Oh, it's just turned the alarm off. I need to find the room. I wonder, can I possibly complete this level? I'm trying to concentrate, trying to read the map and work out where I'm going. Right, so this time I can turn off the so the light goes green. That means all the security doors are now open. Yeah, let's have a look, see what's in these. Obviously, if you waste time searching every item, you're a dismembered body. Yeah, there's all sorts of silly things. But you can waste too much time doing it. You've only got 7 minutes left to photograph all the documents. I think the animation's alright. It's just, I don't know, it's just something about the definition of the blokes that look a bit odd. So where are we going now? Next building. And most of the buildings just seem to have one floor, but I think some of them do have more than one, just occasionally. Right, building 3. The graphics in each building are the same, really. They just change the colour scheme. Right, so that's a locked room, but now we can get into it. But now we need to, I think you need to, it doesn't matter, you need to gas them. But so we now change to the camera, taking the picture. May as well search that while we're at it. Bottle of vodka, very useful. I think there's only one room in this building. So on to the next building. Well, I think what makes the game really is the fact that it just keeps you involved, really. You got to stay on your toes, really, for the whole game. And the flight sim level is, it's pretty simplistic, but once you get used to it. But again, it's well done. It it's just that feeling of being there. And obviously, it was the first. I made it look pretty easy there, but it's the first mission. It is pretty easy, but it does get. You have to travel further with subsequent missions, and if you get a call sign wrong, then there's a bit of combat. So there is a bit more to it. Right, where am I now? Building 2. Right. What's the best way of getting to that? Okay. The riskiest bit in these screens is that you don't exit the room just as the guy turns around and spots you and asks for your papers, because they will activate the alarm. Oops. Ah, get caught. Shit. What was I saying about having to concentrate? Yeah, so that's Infiltrator for you. Yep, 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good game. You do need maps, whether you make them yourself or download them, it's up to you. It's worth trying to get the instructions and just having a look. I've got the instructions in front of me. Well, I've got the instructions for the ZX Spectrum version, but it does its job. And yeah, it's just there's definitely it's a bit more involved in some games. It's not quite pick up and play, but yeah, it's if you haven't played it, definitely worth a look. Right, see you in the next video.